Hello and welcome to this week's Glasstire Top 5. It's the week of November 30th, 2017. I'm Brandon Zech.
I'm Christina Rees.
And it's after Thanksgiving. Things are opening this week, and we have a good combination of things that have already opened, things that are going to be up for a little while, and things that are closing. Number 5 is Raul Gonzalez with a show called Doing Work at Grey Duck in Austin. I saw this exhibition actually when I was in town for the East Austin Studio Tour. Raul Gonzalez is a San Antonio-based artist. I've seen a few of his shows here and there. This is by far the best one I've ever seen. The work is really great. It has a great message. So it's kind of two different bodies of work. One is about being a father and kind of critiquing the idea that dads are ignorant and that stay-at-home dads aren't really a thing. So he makes work about doing that and interacting and teaching his two daughters. And the other body of work kind of deals with working class people and immigrants. So it's a body of work that is done using construction materials. And it's one of the best ways of kind of combining the idea of the physical material of what you're critiquing or what you're trying to heighten into the work.
So number 4 this week is in Houston. It's at the Museum of Fine Arts Houston. It's called The Glamour and Romance of Oscar de la Renta. I'm probably not one to generally choose fashion shows that happen in fine arts museums, but Oscar de la Renta was a genius. I mean, the guy really was the great American fashion designer. He died in 2014. There's been kind of a small spate of retrospectives of his work in some museums in America. Andre Leon Talley was kind of the co-curator on these shows. Man, this guy, he was early in crossing over from just couture to ready-to-wear. His clothes are beautiful and incredibly dignified, and everyone from every first lady, including Jackie O, to Beyonce has worn his fashion. They're gorgeous. And in this particular show, and of course a lot of Houston socialites have his dresses in their closets. Some of them are in this show. I mean, basically this is just a feast for the eyes. It's a good people-pleasing show for the holidays as well.
Number 3 this week is Stanley Light, Great Minds and Psychic Weirdos at Erin Clulay in Dallas. So it's going to be up, it's opening this weekend, and it's going to be up through the beginning of January.
Yeah, so Stanley Light is a longtime collector in Dallas. He had a gallery called Light and C with Andrew C. from about 2007 to 2009. Andrew C. died in 2009. Stanley Light has been collecting all different kinds of things, from art, like high fine art, to a lot of thrift store stuff for years and years. And this is going to be a big, I think, kind of decadent salon-style hang of a whole lot of what he's collected, from the lowest of the low to the highest of the high. He has an interesting eye, a very kind of eccentric personality, and I think that more than anything, this is just going to be a very fun show, and it's kind of a nice window into the aesthetic and philosophy and heart and soul of a specific collector. So number 2 this week is in Austin, and it's ICOSA Collective, which I know we put in the top 5 a lot with good reason. This is called Tiger Strikes Austin. It's Tiger Strikes Asteroid, the Los Angeles iteration, as well as Monte Vista projects. These are 2 collectives out of LA. Tiger Strikes Asteroid is like it's almost like a franchised collective concept. There's 4 of them. There's one in LA, one in New York, one in Philadelphia, one in Chicago. We could get one in Texas at some point. Not so unlike ICOSA itself as a collective and as a space. It makes sense that ICOSA would host this show. It's all, I believe, all Los Angeles artists from these 2 LA collectives bringing their work in to ICOSA's space. So number 1 is Matt Messinger at Devin Borden's gallery in Houston. I love these images, that's all I can say, because I know the show hasn't been open long and I haven't seen it yet. You've seen it.
Matt's a little mysterious to me. I don't really know much about him, but he's the type of artist where whenever I've seen random pieces in Devin's back room, or whenever I've seen one of his pieces in a group show, I've always loved it, and I've never realized it was him until I looked at the price list and realized it was him. The show's called Argus. Argus was a many-eyed giant in Greek mythology, and a lot of these works, you could say they're abstract, but of course when given that title, you start to see eyes and figures, and they're very playful, and they're very well made. And of course you look at them long enough and you start to see little personalities that come out, because it's like seeing this portion of a person's eyes. I mean, they come across.
I like this. Is he a Houston-based artist?
He lives and works in Houston.
It's so great. One of the things I like about doing this top 5 is I get introduced to artists who I've never seen or heard of before. And you sent me these 5 or 6 or 7 images, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really, really like this work. And I'll be in Houston next week, so I'll get to see the show. I'm excited about that. But yeah, I mean, new to me, and that's great. That's a great find.